Hello guys, welcome back to Mr. English Talks. Today, we are tackling a topic that affects absolutely everyone, regardless of age, success, or background: how to stop worrying and start living. Worry is a natural human emotion, but when it becomes constant, overwhelming, and paralyzing, it stops being a helpful signal and starts becoming a destructive habit. Worrying is like a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, but it gets you nowhere. The goal is not to eliminate worry entirely, which is impossible, but to transform worry into productive action and mental peace. We are going to explore powerful, practical techniques, largely inspired by the timeless wisdom of Dale Carnegie, to help you reclaim your mind. 1. The magic formula for solving worry situations. The first and most effective technique for tackling paralyzing worry is a three-step process that transforms a vague, terrifying fear into a clear, manageable problem. This is a game changer for people who feel overwhelmed by life's challenges. Step 1. Analyze the worst-case scenario. The vast majority of worry comes from fear of the unknown. Your brain paints a vague, catastrophic picture. The first step is to sit down and write, specifically and logically, what is the absolute worst thing that could possibly happen. For example, if you are worried about losing your job, the worst-case scenario isn't just being unemployed. It's, I will lose my income, run through my savings, lose my apartment, and have to move back home. Don't minimize the fear, face it head-on. Step 2. Accept the worst-case scenario. Once you've defined the worst outcome, you must mentally and emotionally accept it as a possibility. Tell yourself, okay, if that happens, I can handle it. It would be difficult, painful, but I would survive. This acceptance instantly drains the worry of much of its power, because fear of the unknown is replaced by acceptance of the known worst outcome. This is a psychological release. Step 3. Devote time and energy to improving the worst. With the fear neutralized, you can now use your mental energy productively. Develop a plan to minimize the damage of the worst-case scenario. If the worst is losing your apartment, your plan becomes, I will immediately start applying to 10 new jobs a week. I will sell non-essential items. I will look into cheaper accommodation. You shift from worrying about the problem to actively solving it. 2. The habit of living in daytight compartments. Most worrying is done either about the mistakes of the past or the potential disasters of the future. The second rule is to live in daytight compartments. Imagine your life is a massive ship. You can seal off different parts so that if one area floods, a crisis, the rest of the ship remains afloat. The actionable step: focus on today. Ask yourself, what is the single most important thing I need to do today to move forward? Do not worry about what happened last month or what might happen 6 months from now. Your job is to handle the tasks, responsibilities, and challenges of this single 24-hour period. Successful people plan for the future, but they execute in the present. When worry about the future creeps in, gently remind yourself, I will deal with that tomorrow. Today, I am focused on my current task. 3. Tackle the problem of indecision, the decision-action loop. Indecision is one of the biggest sources of chronic worry. We worry because we delay making a difficult choice, letting the problem fester. The third step is to tackle the problem of indecision with a clear decision-action loop. The actionable steps. Gather the facts. Before making any decision, systematically gather all the relevant facts, both pro and con, for all your options. Write them down in a neutral column. Analyze the facts. Objectively weigh the facts. Which choice has the best outcome and the least risk? Make a decision. Once you have analyzed the facts, make a decision, even if it's not perfect. A mediocre plan executed immediately is almost always better than a perfect plan delayed indefinitely. Act immediately. Once the decision is made, stop revisiting it and act immediately. Start the first step of the plan. The moment you move from agonizing thought to concrete action, the burden of worry lifts. 4. Practice the law of averages, probabilistic thinking. Often, our worries are highly improbable. The fourth rule is to apply the law of averages and probabilistic thinking to your worries. The media and our own minds often blow risks out of proportion. The actionable step: Ask yourself, what are the actual chances of this catastrophe happening? If you are worried about an upcoming surgery, research the success rate. If you are worried about losing all your money in an investment, look at the historical data. You will often find that the probability of the actual worst-case scenario is extremely low, maybe less than 1%. When you realize you are worrying about a 1% risk, you can consciously choose to stop wasting 99% of your mental energy on it. 5. Replace negative thoughts with productive ones, the substitution principle. The human mind cannot hold two contradictory thoughts simultaneously. If you want to stop thinking a negative thought, you must consciously substitute it with a positive or productive one. This is the substitution principle. The actionable step. Identify the loop. Notice when you are trapped in a worrying mental loop, e.g., I'm going to fail the exam, I'm going to fail the exam. Use a mental stop sign, physically snap a rubber band on your wrist, or loudly say stop. In your mind, this breaks the pattern. Substitute action. Immediately replace the worry with a productive thought or action. Instead of I'm going to fail the exam, substitute, I am going to study chapter 5 for the next 30 minutes, and that will help me pass. Or if you are stuck, I will call someone to help me solve this problem. This shifts you from passive victim to active participant. 6. The habit of self-care and rest, the fatigue factor. Worry and anxiety are often magnified when you are physically and mentally exhausted. The sixth rule is to understand and prioritize the habit of self-care and rest, counteracting the fatigue factor. When you are tired, your problems seem bigger and your ability to cope seems smaller. The actionable steps. Prioritize sleep. Get 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep every night. A well-rested mind is resilient and capable of rational thought. Take breaks. If you are working on a draining task, take short, frequent breaks. Move your body, step away from the screen, and breathe fresh air. This prevents accumulated fatigue from becoming chronic anxiety. Find a hobby. Engage in non-competitive hobbies that you genuinely enjoy, gardening, playing an instrument, or reading a good book. These activities activate different parts of your brain and provide essential mental escape and recharging. 7. Find yourself and lose yourself, service and gratitude. The final, and perhaps most profound, rule is to find yourself by losing yourself in service and gratitude. When you focus on helping others or appreciating what you have, you naturally shift your focus away from your own worries. The actionable steps. Practice daily gratitude. Spend 5 minutes every morning listing 3 things you are genuinely grateful for, no matter how small. This rewires your brain to look for the good in your life, building a positive mental habit that crowds out negativity. Engage in service. Find a way to help someone else, even in a small way. Volunteer, mentor a friend, or simply offer a genuine compliment. When you are focused on alleviating someone else's pain or adding value to their life, your own problems naturally shrink in perspective. Giving yourself away is a powerful antidote to self-absorption and worry. Today is the day. These 7 rules, analyzing the worst, living in day-tight compartments, acting on decisions, applying the law of averages, substituting thoughts, prioritizing rest, and practicing gratitude and service, are your toolkit for a worry-free life. The key is not intellectual understanding, but consistent application. Choose one technique, maybe the magic formula or the day-tight compartments, and commit to using it every time a major worry arises this week. You have the power to stop being the victim of your thoughts and start being the captain of your life. If you liked this video and are ready to stop worrying and start truly living, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, Mr. English Talks. Hit that like button and share this video with someone who needs mental peace today. Keep learning, keep growing, and I'll see you in the next video.